In this movie, I want to take a look at how to get the Skype for Business application installed on your computer or mobile device. As I mentioned previously in this chapter, you should be ready to sign in with the Microsoft account assigned to you by your organization. If you have been issued a computer by your employer, then you may already have Skype for Business installed and configured. But if you need to install it yourself, I'll show you the most likely procedure. As always, your company's implementation could be different, so you may need to contact your company's Microsoft administrator if you have trouble with this process. Since most Skype for Business deployments are tied to the Office 365 service, most users will start by going to this webpage, and then we can sign in by clicking the Sign In button up there in the top right, and sign in with that Microsoft account. I'll put in the email address and hit enter, then it will ask me for the password. After you sign in and get to the Office 365 main homepage, you should see a button like this near the top right that says Install Office 2016, and another button below that that says Other Installs. For many users, you can choose this option up here to install Office 2016, and that will install all of the Office applications, Word, PowerPoint, Excel, Outlook, and Skype for Business. But like I said, that's true for many users, but not all of them. Let's take a closer look. We can do that by hitting the button that says Other Installs. Here on this page, we can see these icons listed here. This is actually a list of the applications that will install if you do the standard Office installer that we just saw on the previous page. So you might want to double check this. If you do not see Skype for Business show up on this list, then your company has a service level that does not include the full version of Skype for Business. Or if you're on a Macintosh, then you will not see Skype for Business here because the Skype for Business installer is not included with the main Office installer on Macintosh. If that's the case, you are not completely out of luck. If the fully featured version of the Skype for Business application is not listed here, you will probably still have a link over here on the left side that says Skype for Business. That will give you the installer for Skype for Business Basic, which is a slightly different version of the application that does not have all of the features enabled. If that's the service level your company has, then that's great. There may be features that you cannot access, but if you don't need those features, it's no big deal. Just be aware, if that's the case, some of the features that we'll see in this training course will not be available to you, and I'll point those out as we go. And if you do install the Macintosh version, it will certainly be different from the Windows version. The interface is different, and there are many features that are not available on the Mac, regardless of which Microsoft service plan your company has. I'll point out those differences as we go through the course as well. So pick the installation package that's right for you, download, and install it. In some rare cases, if you have installed Skype for Business in the past, but there are some features missing that you really think you should have, one troubleshooting option would be to uninstall Skype for Business and then come here and reinstall it. Finally, let's jump over to a mobile device. It is worth mentioning that there is a mobile app for both iOS and Android devices. We'll be talking about those in a separate chapter in this course. But if you want to get a head start with those apps, there's something you should take a look at. I'm here on an iPhone, but it works almost exactly the same on Android. I'll start by going into the App Store or into the Google Play Store on Android. I'll go into Search. If you do this and you simply search for Skype, then you will find the consumer level version of Skype, and that's not what we're looking for. So it's going to be much better if you go into the search field and you do specifically search for Skype for Business. You can see that shows me a completely different app. Then you can install that app and you can sign in with your Microsoft account, but we'll be working through that later in this course. So now you should be ready to install Skype for Business on your computers and mobile devices.